Hello everyone, this is Bentley. If you watched the Q&A session, the one entitled I Need Help, last week, you kind of know the story. If you didn't, I'm going to give you the short version. Earlier this week, on Monday, one of my dogs, Shantoto, dislocated her hip. Dislocating a hip is way worse for dogs than it is for humans. You can't just pop it back in. I mean, you can, but the success rate is like 50-50. Very typically, when they dislocate their hips, they actually tear the ligaments that help hold that in place, and often it requires surgery, which is what was necessary for my dog, just based on what the injury looked like in x-rays and how she was acting. It was pretty clear surgery was necessary to help her. So I've been giving updates, and I'm going to keep giving updates through her recovery. But needless to say, she went into emergency surgery Tuesday morning. Surgery was a success. It went really, really well. She's doing very good considering she had surgery Tuesday. She's actually walking relatively well. I'm going to try and get a video. I don't want to have one for this, but I'm going to try and get a video with her just so you guys can kind of see her progress already. I mean, I've been astounded by this little dog, but I'm also trying to make sure that I'm following the surgeon's suggestions and stuff and limiting her movement, giving her extra time to heal, right? The pain medications are helping her feel a little more bold than she should be, but I'm doing my best, spending a lot of time with her. Mostly what was suggested is spend a lot of time in her crate and only bring her out for shorter periods of time. Let her get some pets, her medicine, food, water, bathroom, all the things a puppy needs, right? And I say puppy, I mean, she's 3.5 years old, but she's still a puppy to me. She's my baby. So needless to say, I'll have another link to the GoFundMe down below, just because all told, the surgery and everything is going to cost me about $7,200. And as you guys know, I'm currently still trying to get back to work after being laid off from Amazon. So if you are able to help, it's greatly appreciated. There's so many of you who've been incredibly, incredibly generous, and I can't thank you enough. I mean, even a few $100s makes this easier, but the fact that so far, basically a third of her surgery has been paid for by you folks. I won't lie to you, I'm trying to not fall apart, but I've literally cried 3 times this week after, not involving directly my dog's pain, but just the incredible generosity of you wonderful people. So, as you can already see, I'm losing control, but thank you very much. So, because of this, I was spending a lot of time with my dog, make sure things are okay. She was in surgery all day Tuesday. A lot of the things I wanted to get done around here in the fish room did not get done. I got some done. So what we're going to do is a short tour around the fish room, let you see what's going on, talk a little bit about what is coming up that is going to go slightly slower just because I'm trying to work on my dog, get her healed and recovered and all those things, and do the things I need to make sure that she recovers fully. But real fast, here's a couple pictures. They should have been up. Yeah, you can kind of see, like, she's had her whole hindquarters where she needed to have surgery done, shaved, but there's a picture here, you can see her sitting, and she was not able to sit like this 2 days ago. So Wednesday, she was not able to sit like this. Of course, when she got hurt, she could not sit like this at all. She basically had to flop and lay flat only on the side that was uninjured. As of basically Thursday morning, she was able to sit in a kind of normal position. So she's doing a lot better. She's able to walk, albeit with a little bit of a limp, but she's gaining some of that confidence back. So it's just great to see. It's great to see how fast she's getting the little bit of confidence, what the surgeon and the nurses refer to as toe tapping, where she's at least putting her foot down and kind of tapping it as she walks, even though she's mostly limping and kind of hopping on the good leg. But those things, and just so many of you left wonderful comments. Jeez, I'm sorry. But yeah, let's get into the little fish room tour around the warm room here, talk about the tanks that I'm pulling down and the tanks that I'll be setting up here as we get through them in the near future, what we're doing in each one, and just some general updates around the fish room. Let's dive in. Okay, we're going to do a short tour around the fish room. So, first off, we're starting here
with my 40-gallon breeder that has my 2 Melanitania picta. So this is a male-female pair. They've been doing really good. I've had them for a while. There's this one SAE, and then some Wabbenmooster plecos, and some short fin super reds. I'm probably going to move some of the plecos out of here, but you can see a bunch of Java fern, a little bit of bulbitis. So we kind of come in a little closer here. But you can just see those lovely kind of pastel-y colors that are really well known from the picta. And this is not my male fully fired up either. In the mornings and up until about the early afternoon, he's got really great fin color as well. But kind of just trying to see if I can get any breeding action out of him. This one's got... That's really all that's in there. You can kind of see pleco caves, and there's one super red out if you look close enough. But let's move over here. So this is where the next aquascape is going. You can see I've emptied the tank out and killed the filter for now. I've left the aqua soil in there, and it's still a little bit wet. Basically, we're just going to go over the top. I've got to remove some remainders of plants, and there's a big rock in there that's not going to go with the scape. But this is, after I clean this tank a little bit too, on the front glass and stuff, this will be where we're doing the next aquascape with my wife, using some pagoda stone and doing kind of an island-style aquascape with a bunch of Java fern, because that's what she likes. So that'll be coming up relatively soon. Of course, I meant to do more this week, but with what happened with my dog, that got set on hold. Above that is the angelfish tank. I need to take a little time this weekend and vacuum out a bunch of detritus. There's just been some buildup from the plecos. But other than that, tank's doing good. Big mass of stems there I probably need to trim down and get it more under control. But angels are doing great as always, showing color, being sassy, their usual. This is kind of an old holdover tank. This is my 29-gallon acrylic. It once held my zebra pleco colony. You actually kind of see... Let me bring you in slightly closer. You can see all this algae buildup that had happened on the glass on the front and the sides. And honestly, a shout out to MacLeod, but this is the acrylic version, right, with a little scraper, and it's got that little plastic scraper. This is fantastic for getting even blackbeard algae, which is a kind of a mix of diatom and blackbeard, off of your glass. So, you can definitely see I need to do some cleanup work to make this thing clean again, but I'm probably actually going to permanently get rid of this tank. So, after I finish emptying it, you can see there's still a little bit of water in there. The dehumidifier is kind of working on that. And once I get it outside, I'll clean it up fully and try to get rid of it. I might actually be getting rid of a bunch of my spare tanks, partially to help fund my dog's surgery that she had done. Here's Fallen Forest. You can definitely see a bunch of kind of diatomaceous dust algae. So I've been going through kind of a diatom cycle after we added the big group of Chilatherina tor rivers in here. And that's fine. I just need to make some adjustments. Otherwise, tank's doing great, plants are growing great. The stem in the back and over here, now that I've got it, and you see some pots of Anubias I picked up that I'm going to sprinkle in throughout the tank. They've all been doing really, really well. So, tank's slowly balancing itself out. Just got to deal with the dust algae, and most of the hair algae is gone, so great there. Ooh, kind of getting into sunset mode over here. And this is where the running rivers are. And you can see, look at those cories, man. Corridora equus, they float mid-water a lot. And you'll see them right here. They're swimming with the rainbows. They do this a ton, and I love it, man. It's so cool. I actually kind of want more of them. I have, I think it's 7 in the tank. I keep forgetting whether it's 6 or 7, but I've got a good little group. They're really a lot of fun to watch swim, just because they swim up in the mid-water column and stuff, and it's a total blast. I guess, okay, one over here is where the other experiment tank is going to go. I've got a brand new 40-gallon breeder that I need to put in here. It's just sitting in my garage. I just got to finish clearing off this space. You can see undergravel filter plates. Yes, we're going to do a test with an undergravel filtration system. So yeah, get ready to see that, and we'll explain more of that soon. I've got a whole ton of substrate I have to like rinse out and wash, but there's that. And you can see, like, even the stem trimming I meant to do got held up because of my dog getting hurt on Monday. I do a lot of like fish work around my house Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. I kind of sprinkle it in when I can, and her getting hurt kind of Monday afternoon, right when I would start doing a lot of this stuff. Put a kibosh on that entirely. So yeah, fun and not fun at the same time. And then, of course, the Guppy Mansion. You can see it's growing in really nicely. There's this Anubias Nangi over here on the side is just like propping out through all this Java Fern, looking incredible. The regular Java Fern in here is doing so well. I mean, just look at how big some of these leaves are getting, and how tall they're reaching up. Is exactly what I wanted. We got some of the Wendelov up front. We had some struggles with it for a while, but I've recovered it from a lot of die-off, and you can see like lots of new foliage in here coming in. Of course, the guppies are looking great. All the crypts look good. And then there's like this carpet of moss in here that I basically can't get rid of. But so you've got on this far side over here, that is Florida Sunset. Up front here is Crypt Petchii. In the back is Crypt Sri Lanka. And then there's a little bit more of Wendetii Red in the back there. It's not doing quite as well, but, you know, overall, great tank. Things are looking really healthy. You can see all the adults up here swimming up top and some extra, like, containers and stuff. I probably need to do a big organization on my fish room, too. Just some extra cleaning in here. Tis the season. But I've been running around really frantically, so I'm kind of behind on things I want to get done. But yeah, you can see all the adults up there, and you may or may not, let me try and get you a little closer, but you can see like a lot of these young down in here, right? They hug through the plants. This is kind of why I keep this tank this way. It allows the adults to have lots of free swim space up top, and then the younger babies stay low, and it gives them protection and places to hide and feel safe. But when I put food in, you know, food goes throughout the whole tank, so they can easily get stuff. That's the beauty of having flake and a decent filter that gives reasonable enough circulation on a tank this large. So, kind of going to spin you back around. We'll go all the way from the edge here. Guppy Mansion. Running River. Fallen Forest, and tank to be named and added later. This tank is getting removed, so there will be another new tank coming in here. That will probably also be for my wife, but maybe I might have enough space depending on how it sits. We might have 2 small tanks here, and then one would be for brother-in-law James, just as a heads up. And then we've got the next big aquascape that'll be in this 40-gallon breeder here. The angels up top. And then finally, my Melanithania picta group here, and just some spare plecos. So that's kind of an update around the fish room. We'll go back to my face for a few minutes.
Well, there you go. There's some updates on my fish room. Like you say, have seen there's these 2 tanks that are over here that have been emptied. There's this space here that I've had empty, well, mostly ready for a bit, and have just had stuff come up. But I'm getting that tank in this week. Those 2 tanks that are empty, one just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. The other one is going to get completely torn down and replaced with 1 or 2 smaller tanks. I have to see what fits on that like filing cabinet that I have there. Something will go there. And then the next major mission is I've got a few fish I need to kind of shuffle around in the fish room. So I've got a couple fish still up in the flex that need to come into here in the Fallen Forest. I've got some plecos I need to move around. I need a pleco in here to deal with some of the dust algae and other surface algae that just a pleco is going to do better at than, say, autosynclus or snails are going to do. And I like having my plecos spread out. I've got enough of them. I can spread them throughout a bunch of my tanks and just be good overall. Other than that, what else we got going? So a reminder that the next aquascape, I'm going to have Aves Creek Bozemanii as a part of the, well, not as a part, they'll be the primary fish in that tank. We'll have some cleaning crew. I'm thinking about some dwarf chain loaches, maybe, because I think those will be really cool. So those were voted on in a live stream by the community. I let you guys in a live stream choose the fish for my next tank. Of course, granted, it was a list of fish that I was interested in doing for that tank, based on the things that my wife wants to do in it, and fish that I knew my wife would like. And the fact that you guys picked the Aves Creek, I think there was actually like the highest on her list after I showed her everything afterwards. She's like, "Oh yeah, that's a great choice." So you guys are in tune with things my wife likes. As for the small tank that's going to go over here, that'll be a bit more of a surprise, because if it's only one tank, that's a little project for my wife specifically, kind of like how we did brother-in-law James's tank upstairs in his room. But if I can fit 2 tanks there, then we'll have another tank for brother-in-law James. We'll figure out what that's going to be. It probably would be like a betta tank or something like that, because he's wanted a betta again, but he doesn't want to put the betta in with his barbs. He kind of likes the barbs now that he's watched their behavior and the amount of like movement they do and things like that, and he just kind of wants to leave that as is and do something else. But it might change. We'll find out. That's going to be up to him. As for the tank over here, that's going to be an experiment. We're going to do some testing in that tank, doing a very specific type of under-gravel filtration system. We'll do a full build-out, explain all the choices in there and why we're doing it, as well as what fish will end up in that tank after we do a number of measured tests using specific products that allow us to guarantee we're hitting certain amounts of like ammonia and things like that, to do some very specific testing. After that testing is complete, we'll probably upgrade it, add some plants, put in some fish, and it'll be another tank just with an under-gravel filtration system doing most of the work. Other than that, I'm trying to think. Not really many changes coming over here in Running River, other than potentially might add some more like Corridoras Equus in time. I'm not really sure about that. And then, of course, Guppy Mansion, pretty much fine. That tank just kind of does well all the time. There might be some like, cleanups of all that moss and stuff and trying to get some other plants established in there. But other than that, that tank always does super well, so I've never really worried about it. Yeah. That's the fish room. That's what's going on. Again, I have to do a massive thank you. There's an anonymous person who donated $750. I don't know who you are, but the incredible generosity in your heart. I can't thank you enough. I really can't. That being said, there's so many of you who've donated. And even those of you who are donating like $5, seriously, every dollar is valued. And for those of you who are like tight on money, don't give me any money, okay? As someone who, especially now, is tight on money, I totally understand that, and I don't want you to make things worse for yourself, even if I'm in a tough spot. I'm gonna make it through. Basically, a lot of my YouTube money that I normally make on YouTube will go toward that. So if you are tight on funds but you want to help, easiest way to help. Like the videos, maybe go back and watch another video or two that you haven't seen in a while. Share them with a friend. All those things that bring up YouTube engagement, they're free. If you have some spare time and you're tight on cash and you want to help out, that's the best way you can help, because it just brings in a little extra revenue. And for right now, normally I would put all my revenue toward fish stuff, but kind of need to make sure my poor pupper's okay, and she's been doing great so far. And like I said, for those of you just in the few short days, and some of my wife's stream crew have helped out too. I really want to say thank you to them, but just basically you guys have covered a third of her surgery costs already. And I cannot thank you enough, because that eases a ton of burden off of my shoulders. While I've still got some I've got to deal with, I will find a way. But I really sincerely appreciate your help. And once I'm back to normal, I've got to find a good way to properly thank all of you, because I would be in an extremely rough spot without your guys' continuous and dedication. Continuous and dedicated help, and just the absolute warm hearts that are this community. I mean, I I'm always impressed. Like, I get wonderful comments and stuff all the time, but just the incredible love that is in the fish community and the fish fam, I cannot thank you enough. If for some reason any of you who have helped out are going to happen to be at Keystone Clash, please, please, please get in touch with me at my email, bentley.pascoe@gmail.com. I'm fairly certain I'll be back to normal by then. And if I can, those of you who helped me in this period of time, I want to do something a little special for you. So, reach out to me. If you know you're going to be at Keystone Clash and you're caring about Shantoto's recovery, please just reach out to me. I'd greatly appreciate it. And for everyone else, again, if you enjoy this video, this short little look around my fish room and me babbling about my dog for a little while, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, whatever it may be. If it's just like #Shani, just you want to make sure the doggo recovers, no matter what you can do. It'd be greatly appreciated. There will be a link again to the GoFundMe that we have set up in the description below. And just be watching for some stuff. The first project, of course, is moving some tanks around in here, but then we'll be doing that aquascape over there. Then we'll be setting up this undergravel filtration system over here, and then the small tanks that go here. So that's kind of the intended order of operations. That might shift around. It depends on how things are going with me, interviews, and all the stuff about getting my life back to the normal grind of working my brains out with actual work rather than working my brains out to find work and now get my dog healthy again. Yeah. Life can be rough. And just thank you guys so much. I from the bottom of my heart, I cannot thank you enough. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And stay awesome.